Hello, welcome back to Frequency Intuitive. Today I have an amazing topic that Spirit gave me, I think, and it's called What is the fresh new wave coming into your life that you don't want to miss? This could be anything, but it's bringing fresh energy and it's a wave coming in. It's an opportunity to ride this wave. They're showing me this vision very clear. And the way that they're presenting this to me is this wave is going to be coming in regardless of a current situation or challenge that you may be having in your life. And that's why they're bringing it up in this reading, is because there's a tendency when we are fixated on something that's going on in our life to kind of one track on that and possibly miss other peripheral opportunities or blessings that are coming in. So that's specifically why they wanted to do this reading. So we're going to go ahead and choose the piles. I'll show you everything closer, and we're also going to be choosing by sound again today. So I'll show you pile 1 and then I will play you the sound. Pile 1 is this card, the Great Severing, Mars energy, anger, conflict, and then softening to love. And this is your crystal. It's like an evergreen tree, and I'm not sure what type of crystal that is. It kind of has a bit of jade look to it, but I'm not very good at the names of crystals. And your sound is the ocean drum. Pile 2. Your card is Inner Earth. You'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. And you have the, I believe, moss agate crystal. So you could be drawn to the card, the crystal, or the sound, or timestamp. You can be drawn to anything. The colors. Oh, speaking of sound, I forgot your sound. Yours is the wooden rattle. Okay, pile 3. Your card is Forge, Don't Follow, Pave a New Path, Be the Leader You Wish You Had, with the Hamza, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Hamza palm in amethyst. And your sound is the drum. So if you resonate with that, that could be an indicator for you of which pile to choose. And pile 4, Weight of the World, Boundaries, Let It Go, It's Not Yours to Carry, with the rose quartz crystal. And your sound is the Koshi chime. Okay, so we're also going to choose by channeled callouts from Spirit. I'm just going to tune in and see if there's any other indicators that they can give us for people who are specifically have a message that they would like to reach, who may need more information. So if you've already chosen at this point, definitely go with your first instinct, and then these can either confirm or maybe highlight a second pile that there might be additional messages in for you, okay? So pile 1, the phrase peace, the word peace, international. If you've been at an airport recently or frequently, if you're chewing gum, if you've recently been in nature, like purposely to ground or reconnect. Okay, I heard, I came out of the channel, sorry, 1 second. Okay, I hesitate to say this because it's LMNOP. So the letters in the alphabet L, M, N, O, or P, if they're in your first name or last name, or if those are meaningful to you, or if that phrase is meaningful to you. Okay, pile 2, calling. So if someone just called you on the phone, or you were just about to call somebody, or if someone just called your name, or you just called somebody's name. If you just ate pickles recently. If you're recovering from a shoulder injury, or your clavicle, or whiplash, or all of the above, they said. If you're suffering from vertigo, or you get vertigo when you get anxious, or you get jittery, if you're looking for some sort of healing, and then I heard KJ, so I'm not sure if that's letters K and J or if that's somebody's name, KJ. KJ or AJ, I'm not sure if I'm saying it wrong, AJ. Okay. Pile 3. If you okay. I'm not sure how to explain this, but I keep hearing like just no, no, no. So if you were just saying that maybe, or if that's just in your energy, if you're feeling very resistant to something going on, or if you feel like someone's been saying that to you, if you're afraid of heights, if you live at a great height, like a high number in a condo, or you're in a hotel room with a high number, if your age is over 60, if you have a P, letter P, or people call you P, and then they're giving me a word. I'm not quite sure what it means, or I'm not sure if it is a word. Cataphony. Cataphony. It's not catastrophe. It's CATAPHONY. So if that means something to someone. Pile 4. I'm feeling lightness here. There's light here. If that means something. If you wear a lot of white, or have been wearing a lot of white for some reason, it could be some sort of ceremony or light colors. It could be a religious ceremony, I guess maybe a wedding. And I'm seeing religious ceremonies also, or your personal preference and style is light linen-y. I'm just seeing like gauzy fabrics in light pastel pinks and whites. That's all I'm getting for that pile. Okay. So, sorry, when I came out of the channel, I'm a bit disoriented. I forgot where I was. Okay, so go ahead and tune in to your groups, and I will see you in your pile or piles that you chose. Hi, pile 1. If you are wondering, I had to change. It was super hot in this room, so I'm wearing a tank top now. If you're wondering where my sweater went. So, you chose this. Am I filming? paranoia always of a YouTube person, content creator. The paranoia always exists. So you could be a content creator, because I just got that vibe. So you chose this tree crystal, and the great severing Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love. I'm very curious who would pick this pile. I think it's human nature to not choose any piles that say the words anger or conflict. I get that this is an energy you're coming out of or wanting to move out of. If that's the case, and it doesn't mean the reading's going to be about that, but if you chose this pile, you are very open-minded and self-aware because you weren't afraid of that. So let's begin with what fresh wave is coming your way that you don't want to miss. I love this reading. And we're doing different decks than usual here, so I'm just going to orientate myself. So let's start with this. Pile 1, information. What fresh wave is coming in for them? What is the fresh energy? I am feeling a sense of peace and happiness and satisfaction. It just came over me like a wave, and I was smiling to myself, and I just kind of went off into like a little bit of dreamland for a second there. I forgot I was filming. I was like, this is so nice. I don't know. So that's definitely an energy that's coming in for you. I'm not sure if that's an energy you maybe haven't felt in a while. That one's trying to hop. I'm not sure if it's relevant, but I'm feeling discomfort in my left wrist. I'm not sure if it's from shuffling or if, never mind. I do know because they did ask me to mention it. So it could be both. There could be someone who's feeling that, like a carpal tunnel type of feeling, or arthritis. So a lot of channeled messages coming out here for you. You could have fire energy in your chart. Okay. Yeah, I had a feeling this was going to come out upside down for... Okay, Lemuria, whoa, why am I yelling? Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. Interesting. So you could resonate with Lemurian, with the Lemurians. Oh, a tower, the crumbling. What are you clinging to? So this is the tower card in this deck. And look how this beautiful green, like it's lush, abundant, roses are spilling out, like underneath this tower crumbling is the most beautiful, abundant garden of absolute beauty. Look how dark and dreary this tower is. Like you want it to crumble. So interesting that you have anger, conflict, and Mars energy, and then you got this tower energy. So I'm assuming that's going to have something to do with each other. They wanted me to get this deck next. So if any of this is resonating so far, then you've chosen the right pile. They would like this energy. Okay, so this I would say would be like a Mars energy card, Aries, red, that like you're feeling the fire. So right away they're showing me you have so much inner fire and passion. People could say like, wow, you got fire in your belly, or wow, you got a temper, or wow, you have a short temper, or you're angry, or you're an angry bird. They're showing me a bunch of stuff, or you're fiery. If you get that a lot, you're being called to learn how to temper this. This is just a side note, and harness that power for good. Good in your life to benefit you. That's a side note. That's not the fresh wave that's coming in. Oh! Cleanse. Wow, okay. Yeah, so right away they're giving me... Yeah, oh yeah, okay. So Lemuria, I don't know much about it, but I think it's a water world. I'm sorry if I'm wrong about that. That's what they're telling me. Ugh, I hate when they tell me something and I can't verify because I don't want to look like an idiot, but that's what they're telling me. So I'm sorry if I'm not right, but I'll look like an idiot for you guys. They're telling me it's a water world, and you have this cleanse card, and then you have this Mars with the energy card. So I feel like they want this like this, because I always read past on the left, just how I read. Okay, this is making way more sense. So I feel like you've had, like, there's a card that says a fiery climax approaches. I feel like that either happened or is happening. And the fresh wave that's coming in is literally this, a fresh wave of fresh, clean, cleansing energy. That I'm not quite sure where that would be coming from besides spirit, but you must be calling it in. You must be calling in some soothing. Yeah, I don't know why they just, sorry if it's grossing people out, but they just wanted me to show this scar. I have this burn. I burnt myself in the air fryer, but they were just like, your scar. So I feel like, and it was hot, so it burns. But it'll heal. It'll heal, and there'll be nothing there. So for some reason, that's relevant. And even I was so hot, I didn't want to take off my sweater because I didn't want the scar to show. And my guides were like, take off the sweater. And then right away because I was hot, I was uncomfortable. And this always has to do with your reading. That's why I'm mentioning it. Whatever happens once I start filming has to do with the reading. So I feel like you might have got burnt by something. This could be a job, a relationship, a contract, a friend, a situation. And it created a tower moment. And you've got a lot of energy pent up here. Like, you've got Mars energy. You are pissed. You are mad. You are resentful. You are angry. You feel betrayed. You feel tricked. I understand all of this energy. And the fresh wave that's coming in is literally, like I said, a cleansing, cooling wave of literal energy that's going to be coming in that you don't want to miss. It's because it's going to be subtle. Whenever there's an energetic shift, it's very subtle. Just like if you surf, you could surf, because they keep showing me this analogy, or paddleboard or boat or swim. They're showing me how, as a surfer, I don't know, again, because I don't surf. I would love to surf, side note, but I don't live near any oceans. I live near lakes. But they're showing me, you have to sit on your board and feel the wave coming in, or you could miss it. So, because it's subtle. Until it's not, like until it's huge, but then you've missed it. So they're bringing up that analogy for me, and they want this cards right now. Okay, what else about what this fresh wave is coming in? How will it serve them? What should they be looking for? What are the indicators? Ooh, I love that. What are the indicators that this fresh wave is coming in, and how do they catch it? Because it's bringing something, they're saying. It's not just the feeling of soothing and cleansing. It's something else. They keep showing me this. They've shown me this twice now. A fire, like a bonfire, and water being poured on it until it's ash and it's cooled off and it's no longer raging. But then what? Because then if you left it long enough, the ash would revitalize the soil and enrich it, and then fresh things would grow from it, they're saying. So I was about to say it's possible that, and they stopped me and they were like, it's fact that whatever this tower moment was, if you catch this wave of cooling energy to diffuse this fire, like I said, it's not that fire's bad, it's just in this instance, what the purpose of that fire happening that really angered you and created this conflict, or is angering you, the purpose of that was to ignite this passionate energy of that feeling inside of you, and then allow the coolness to come in of spirit to guide you, to cool you, to cleanse that pain and discomfort back down. But that the ashes that the fire made are still there, and then they're going to be put to use, because if the fire wasn't made, they're saying, then the ash wouldn't be there, and then when the water came to cleanse, nothing would happen. It would just water the soil. But because the ash is there, the ash is now going to enrich the soil, and something new is going to be able to grow in your life that couldn't have grown before that conflict came, like this beautiful lush forest behind this crumbling tower. The readings have been so powerful. Like, I'm not used to the level of energy coming through, so it feels very exhilarating for me. That's why I keep breathing deeply. It feels like I'm on a wild ride, basically, when I'm reading. I'm just going to ground myself a little bit. Okay, what is this wave? And what are the indicators, please, that it's coming in? Don't drop. Oh, this is lapis lazuli. We were talking about this yesterday. I think it looks purple here, but I think it's blue in real life. Consciousness, third eye chakra. This is card 2. So the indicators are that your third eye chakra is going to be opening. You're going to be becoming more aware. Your inner eye is opening. You're going to be a seer. You're going to be way more aware of what's going on. Maybe you felt a little like you were living previously with a blindfold out, and now you feel like you got smacked awake. They're showing me like you're like, whoa. But now your consciousness has been cracked open. Now you're going to be so much more led by spirit than you were before, where you were really leading with, they're saying ego. Let me check. Yeah, but not ego in a bad way. People have such weird feelings about ego, but so I don't love saying it. But the feeling of just your human nature leading, the smaller you, and then the higher you is going to start to lead, the bigger you. The you that is integrated with the human you. Okay, so what are the indicators be? So you could be having light headaches, they're saying, in your third eye chakra. Obviously, if it's to the point of disruptive to your life, obviously go seek medical attention, but they're not saying that it would be that. They're just saying like really mild kind of pressure in your frontal lobe, basically where your pineal gland is. This would be your third eye chakra. Maybe you're not used to energy flowing through there. Maybe you're not used to having inner sight. Your vision could be improving, or you could be having like foggy patches. Again, if it's a medical concern, you need to go see a doctor. But just, it's normal to have, blink and have it be a little bit coming into focus when our vision changes and things like that. You may be noticing your vision, just like I said, improving, your exterior and your interior vision. Maybe your prescription changed on your glasses. You could be the pile who had the qualifier on the last reading of the glasses. Okay, trust. Oh, how funny that you got the ammonite. Huh. The reason I'm saying that's funny is because I've never heard of this before, an ammonite. I don't really know the name. And my daughter randomly said to me yesterday, it was a character in a video game, and she said, do you know what type of shell that is? And I said, I don't know, an albinon shell? And she said, no, an ammonite. And I thought to myself, that's not a shell, because I've never heard of it. And here it is. So card 31 with the ammonite Pallas, I'm not sure what that is, Pallas, and trust. This is a beautiful card. Trust. So trust came up earlier. I didn't say it, as I sometimes wait for confirmation. When did that come up? When I didn't want to say that Lemuria was a water world. And my guide said so much of channeling, well, I would say all of channeling, but we're all channelers. So living, well, you channel, which is just receiving downloads and insights from your spirit team, is based on trust. That's what they said to me. They said, you've got to trust, I've got to trust, because we can't know. We can't always see ahead of us. We can't see ahead of us, right? So we can try and plan, but we really can't see what's coming. And so we have to develop that trust in spirit. This is becoming a very spiritual reading, so you could be a very spiritual group already, like heavily into this world of card reading and mysticism and esoteric things. More information about what fresh wave is coming into their life that they don't want to miss. Yeah, so they just brought me back to trust again. So they're showing, oh yeah, you have the shell. And we went through that whole thing with water and what did we say? That you, might be like a surfer or something. Okay. Did I already say, was there a shell pile yesterday or in last reading? Again, you could be from that pile. Yeah, what this fresh wave is it's gonna require you to trust in order to sense when this wave is coming and to ride the wave when it appears. So it may seem like the water is still, Spirit's saying, for like you may be like checking, water still, there's nothing on the horizon, water still. And all of a sudden the swell starts to come and they're saying, trust that this wave is coming. That this change is coming, that this ride is coming. It's going to be something exhilarating and it's going to be something new and different. And it's going to extinguish this discomfort that you're in. I'm not sure how. Let's see if we can find out. How is it going to extinguish just because it's going to soothe them? But how? Is it like someone says something, something happens, like just a feeling that comes over them? It's so funny how I keep saying things and then the next card that comes out is that. So we just talked about grounding and it says becoming grounded. Did I say that? I don't know. I have no recollection in your pile of what I just said. It's really weird. That usually happens, but usually I can recall like the past, like the beginning of the reading. For yours, it's very veiled. Everything I say, it's like a fresh new moment and I can't look back, which could mean something for you. You could really have to embrace the now in the situation that you're in, because I thought I said something about being grounded. You'll know. You were watching. And I don't know if I said it to you, but Spirit said to me they need to do the same thing. And they were showing me picturing my feet going down into the earth and wrapping around the center of the earth and grounding it to alleviate that feeling of like fast moving energy, exhilaration, like I can't catch my breath. And I don't know if I said it to you, but they told me to. And then the card came out now. We are nature, becoming grounded embodiment, living in connection. This is really where I feel like you're going. I'm not sure if you haven't reached that point maybe where it's hard for me to know, because I believe that whoever comes here would be on the same frequency. I know that, but you could be orbiting around my frequency. So it could be, because I'm not saying I'm on the highest frequency ever. It's not like that. Like your frequency dips daily all throughout the day, depending on what you're focused on. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't think that, okay, my guys are saying it's not relevant. They don't want me to talk about it. Okay, so, oh, you got the sun. Joy, enjoyment. So your name could be Joy, by the way. Joy, enjoyment, life force, success, vitality, and play. This is considered the best card in the deck, in a tarot deck, even though these aren't tarot. And they're showing me like the sun coming out and watering this enriched soil that the fresh water comes and extinguishes that ash. Okay, I gotta ground myself again in your guys' reading. Just a second. I feel just very in my like head and I can't capture the channel and I'm not hearing where they want me to go next. So I'm picking up on your energy for sure. So that could be how you're feeling. So I would like to ask Spirit, when you're feeling that way, that disorientation of scattered energy that I'm feeling through you, what should they do? Okay, so they said take a deep breath, which we all know. And they're saying picture yourself going down, 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 grounding, and then rub your hands together. Feel your skin and the energy and the heat there. And then put it on your heart, on your chest. And then just like feel your body, that you're in this body. And say, I'm in this present moment. What is the highest choice for me right now to do or focus on? Because they're showing me that this wave that's coming in is this integration. Do we have that here? No, we have embodiment. This integration, like I said at the beginning. Now I can remember when we talked about the human nature you've been following and your spiritual nature. The small you and the big you. And you're learning to bridge this. This situation has caused you to bridge this, and even this anger, conflict, then softening to love. That's exactly what they're showing me, like this red energy, and then you're softening. The soil is softening. But this is like new for you, I'm feeling. This state, or you were kicked out of it because of a tower moment. Maybe you were very spiritual and you always were meditating and you felt really good, and then a tower moment kicked you out and you like went deep and dark into rage and your shadow, which is okay. And now it's coming back again, this renewal, this cleansing to call you back to that integration of the two yous. Or this could be fresh and you've never experienced that before, and you've always been living out of the lower you as far as your smaller you. I don't want to say lower you, whatever, the human you, as far as you know, and you've never experienced incorporating your higher consciousness yet. But it's going to lead to this incredible abundance of life, the sun, joy. You're going to be happy. Oh, what I saw at the beginning, you're going to be exhilarated. Your clarity is going to increase. See, all of a sudden, I broke out of that energy that we were in by doing that grounding exercise quickly. It took 10 seconds, and all of a sudden I can recall the beginning of your reading. I'm getting the talking points and I'm back on track. So I feel that that's what you're going to be going through with this wave coming in. You're going to be enjoying life. You're going to feel incredible. Vitality. Vitality is one of my favorite words, because have you ever had that feeling of vitality? It is completely intoxicating. You're on top of the world. You feel invincible. You can do anything. You have endless stamina, endless ideas, endless clarity. You feel like you have sunbeams just completely like bursting out of your skin. You have so much energy and positive wellness flowing through you, and positive expectation for your life. That's no joke. That state of consciousness, that state of being is more precious than the biggest diamond on earth, hands down. And if you've experienced it, then you know what I mean. So that's what just coming to you, that state of being. You're getting something that's more precious than the biggest diamond that anyone could find. Okay, where are we going next here? What's this? There's a little beat there. Okay, they want to move to these cards. Okay, so what I did in the last reading, which Spirit really liked, is, and I hope you liked it, is these talking points to have in your own private conversation with Spirit. So if you're new to that, that can look like any sort of self-reflective time. You could be driving your car and just have a mental chat with them. You could sit down and have a ritual where you light candles and draw your own cards. This could be journaling. This could be speaking to a therapist if you prefer speaking to somebody else instead of internally. This could just be sitting with your notes and writing it out. It's basically self-reflection, and you're reflecting with your higher self. So these cards that I'm going to pull now are about what talking points you can bring up in your own private conversation with your own spirit team, God, whatever you are comfortable with. It could be through prayer, whatever is your way of connecting with the divine. Receiving elation. What a curious card. I am born of infinite joy. There's that word again, and look how similar these cards are. Almost identical. This is like a simplistic illustration of this card. Receiving elation. Is this new for you? I feel like, have you not been in that place of joy ever? If you're coming from this anger, or in a while, I am born of infinite joy. So the talking point there would be, how can I be more open to receiving joy and that energy of elation in my life where I feel elated like I just described? That's the wave that's coming in that you don't want to miss. You don't want to miss that. And like I said, it's subtle because, and especially if you're used to being in a darker energy, like if you're constantly having anxiety or frustration or irritation, it can feel so unusual and unfamiliar when the spirit or the energy of joy and peace and the sun energy comes upon you. Like they're showing me the image of, imagine if you lived in an area of the world where the sun does not shine that often. And they're just showing me like your eyes are adjusted to the dark. You're so used to the dark. You have all your clothing for the dark. And then when the sun comes out, their propensity may be to go and hide because they may not have sunglasses and they may not like the warmth, or they may not adjust and remove some clothing because they have this heavy parka on and now they're hot. So they may go inside. So they're showing me that if you're not used to the light, it can be very uncomfortable. And you cannot even know what it is. If you're in a period of depression and you feel your mood lift, it can feel uncomfortable. I've been there. I've been in very dark, depressed, anxious, hyper anxious states in my life. And when you do get that little glimpse, like someone tells a funny joke, or you remember something, or you're just in nature and you experience like a deep peace, you're kind of like, it can freak you out because then you think, well, what if I lose that? So it's better to not experience that and stay in the shadow, because then what if the light doesn't come again? But the light will always come again because the light is always there. It may just be hidden by the clouds, right? But the sun doesn't go anywhere. It's always there. Like one of my favorite quotes I ever heard, and I'm not sure who said it, but it's that there really is no darkness. The darkness is just the absence of the light. And that's an important distinction because it means that the light is always there and accessible. It's just, have you been turning it off? Have you been blocking it? Have you just been able to not access it? Have you been living in a frequency where it's not the norm to feel the light, which would be the lighter frequencies and the lighter energies like joy, vitality, peace. And you're not doing anything wrong. It's not that Spirit's trying to say, oh, you're missing the light, get with the program. Life circumstances can cause that, right? If we're run ragged, if something happens to us, comes into our awareness, it can be very challenging to not focus on the dark because the dark is so big in your face, right? But this reading is here for you to tell you that the light is there. It's coming in on a wave. It's here to stay. And be ready for this integration of the lighter aspect of yourself joining you here in this world. This is high spiritual conversation. Like, you may be like, it's not that high conversation. But that's it. I feel like I'm speaking in like metaphors and analogies and esoteric terms a little bit. So I hope you're following because that's just what's coming out. So I trust that you're ready to hear this and you can receive it, hopefully in the way that I'm communicating it, and it's not going over everyone's heads because of my terrible read. I hope the read is good for you. Okay, what else can they discuss in their private world to bring more clarity about this fresh wave coming in for them? What is this going to mean for them? They just said, get excited. Sorry, I hit the mic when I was trying to catch that. They said, get excited. Perception card 35. The frequency of perception supports our natural curiosity, moving us beyond our comfort zone to find the edges of what we perceive as real and to take a hard, good, deep look at it. That is what we were just talking about with this. If you're only used to perceiving shadows or dark or anger or stress, you may consider that real and forget that the sun really is there behind the cloud and that the cloud will move, and you can embrace the sun, and you have ability to move the cloud via your focus points. Also, this stepping out of our comfort zone conversation we had, like you might just be really comfortable in that energy because that's all you've ever known. And you may kind of see spiritual teachers or tarot readers or people who seem like really at peace, or monks or certain people, and you're like, wow, what the heck are they on? Because I've never experienced that type of peace and calm. But I think you're curious about it. That's what they're saying. Supports your natural curiosity, which could be why you're here. For some of you, this could be your first reading you've ever picked. And you're like, wait, what the heck? And for some of you, like I said, I think you're like probably beyond me in spiritual understanding, but I think you might have got tipped off your normal set frequency point, and this reading found you to kind of remind you of who you are. And you know, if that's you, you know how to let that wave come in. You can do it in the next second, you know that. It may take a different approach if you're very new to it. I knew this was going to come. I knew a yellow card was coming. Look at all the yellow light here. I can't stand the synchronicities. All I see is sun. We have the sun card here. Okay, here, if you want to screenshot this, divine light. I am an expression of love, softening to love, and I shine like the sun. My inner light is my strength and my treasure. My intuition guides me to discover the wonder and goodness of who I am. You may have to forgive yourself here if I feel some of you feel like that's who I am. I screwed up and I got to live with that. Or that's who I am. I'm an angry bird. That's my personality, you know. I feel like that's such a beautifully synchronistic card because you have this softening to love. I just see you like a rock and you're softening into, and you may be resistant to the word softening because you may be really connected and attached to a hard construct because you might have had to develop that to survive, right? I see you. I see you who had to become hard and develop a hard shell in order to survive. Now we're really getting into the meat of it here, they're saying, because they're showing me like an oyster in a shell and like you're soft on the inside. Of course, we all are a divine expression of love. But I think life circumstances caused you to develop this hard shell and this angry, irritable exterior where you're ready. You had your swords up, or you have them up. They're showing me. And Spirit's saying soon you can lay down your swords if you haven't already come to this, and you're being called into this different light and different lifestyle and different expression of yourself. And that old identity, you're going to begin to shed it. That's really the wave that's coming in, is an identity shift for you back to this tower. They're showing me this is you. This is you. I thought this was just a circumstance that happened to you. This is you. Do you see this hard exterior with this beautiful, abundant, colorful, vibrant, vital garden underneath? This is you shedding this hard exterior and discovering your own divine beauty, all of these facets of you. What does that mean in the practical? We've been talking really esoteric. It means personality traits you didn't know you had. Patience, kindness, and compassion you didn't know you possessed. The ability to see clearly with your inner knowing what is for you and what isn't. Friends that may have to fall away. Relationships that will fall away that you'll say, whoa, I never saw. They don't have my highest good. This person's serving themselves. This person's taking from me. You'll have all of a sudden clear sight. Where before, it's like the veil comes off. The veil comes off. Where before you might have been drawn to them for some sort of codependent reasoning. You're both validating each other. You're both taking whatever it is that your human nature thinks that you need, and all of a sudden you snap out of it. The light is shone on it, and you can see with your inner knowing, your third eye, this is not for me, this person, this friendship, this job, this situation, this living situation, whatever it is for you. Talk about it with your guides. But what for you needs to go? It might be nothing, but in the 3D, often when we have an ascension, which is basically what you're going to be experiencing, what this wave is coming in, then your whole life will have that ascension. Not always, because you can alchemize those situations too. It just depends on the situation. But they are closing off your reading there. There was a lot of information and they don't want to overwhelm you. Thank you so much for being here. Your reading was a joy to do for me. I feel this is life-changing for you. It's subtle, so it may feel like, so what is it? She didn't really say. It's not money. Is it a job? Is it a person? What is the thing? It's an energetic shift. It's an ascension. It's light transforming the shadows. It's a complete transformative alchemy energy that you're going to be experiencing, where you can lay down your swords and your hard exterior and your protective walls and embrace this sun energy of who you are, and you're going to feel like a completely different person. It's why they call it the second birth in some cultures, because you're born again into this world. You were born and you kind of followed this path of human nature, and all of a sudden something happens, you have this wave comes in, you have the spiritual awakening, and you feel completely different. You feel like a new you. That's what the wave is for you. That's the biggest one. I'm not surprised you got the sun card. That's the biggest blessing to come in. It's a complete spiritual awakening and ascension, and rediscovering who you now are in this world, with your higher self integrated with your human self. So thank you so much for being here. If you did resonate, I love when you guys comment. I'd be so happy to hear from you. Even just leave an emoji if you're not sure what to say. That's a blessing for me to receive. So I appreciate everyone who does that. Like, subscribe, but even just being here with your energy is a blessing for me. So thank you so much. If you are going to another pile for more information, I will see you there. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Bye. Be well. Pile 2, hello and welcome. You chose the moss agate crystal and inner earth. You'll survive this, new solutions and beginnings. So first, I have a channeled message that unusually I experienced through my actual physical body in between pile 1. Some time has passed. I had to stretch, drink a lot of water. I just felt this like release in my physical energy, preparing me for this pile. So I'm not sure what that's about, but we'll get into it. And we're finding out, what is this fresh new wave that's coming into your life that we don't want you to miss. Okay, so let's find out what information we can get for you. Oh, how amazing! You have Inner Earth and Inner Temple. 2 cards with the word inner, devotion, tune into the portal of your heart. I love this. That's all we're going to get from that deck, they said. I stinking love this energy. This is a coming back to yourself. It's a reset. And it's finding refuge in your own self, in your own inner world that you're going to be cultivating. I would wager, based on the energy and the card, that you're going through something with the you'll survive this. This could be a financially difficult time. Maybe you've lost a job or are very restricted on income. You may have large expenses. This could be a health issue. This could be filing for bankruptcy. This could be a divorce. This could be ending a very toxic relationship. Any of these things. Or this could just be a very difficult time in your life where you're not feeling yourself. You're not feeling good. You're feeling very stressed, very overworked, and very unhappy at times. Messages for pile 2, please. Yeah, they just highlight for me new solutions and beginnings. And for some reason, when I read that the first time, I didn't see solutions. So I feel like you haven't been seeing the solutions. You haven't been, I literally didn't even catch that word. It just like went right over my head. I just saw you'll survive this, like new beginnings energy, but it says new solutions specifically. So doors are going to be opening and you're going to be having clarity about what to do and finding solutions where there seems to be no hope before. Release the petals. I don't think I've got this card before. Transformation, death and rebirth, shedding all change. Wow. So that's death energy and like the traditional tarot, which is releasing things that no longer serve us, becoming anew, a snake shedding its skin, the leaves losing the trees losing their leaves. Oh my gosh. And that's a change that comes. Temple of the Rose, ancient power, expression, activation, and scarlet codes. I have not got this card either in this deck before. A lot of fresh energy here. So what's the wave that's coming in here? Is it something esoteric? Is it something tangible, like a pentacle? Is it earth energy? So many decks want to come out here. It's definitely change. It's releasing death and rebirth. It could have been an actual death. They're showing me, usually this is like metaphorically, but it could be that someone's passed on into the non-physical, depending on what you believe in. They don't really go anywhere is my belief system and my understanding from my guides. Their energy remains, and they remain very interested and focused on the life that they left here and the people that they care about, and they begin to guide and project and help and support and offer projections of love and peace and protection. But it just depends what you believe in. The extent to which you believe in that will be the extent to which you probably feel disconnected or connected to them still. I just want to make sure that's not coming across as nudity in that card. I'm not really sure if that's her shirt or something under her shirt, but just in case. I don't want to have to blur later. We're just going to put these pretty crystals on there. What wave is coming in that pile 2 doesn't want to miss? It's fresh, something. Some fresh energy. Expression. You have expression twice. I love when this happens. Let me just, oh, I can't really show you that one up close. Oh yeah, I can. Just be careful about it. Look at this, expression. Expression. There's no way that 2 kind of unusual words, that's not like the word the, come out in readings without it meaning Spirit is trying to highlight it for you. So let's get to the rest of this card. Card 3, flower, agate. Can you hear that? What is that? I'm hearing like a delicate... What? Did you hear that? It sounds like a chime or something. Or, oh, it sounds like someone tapping on the glass of a window, like dink, dink, dink. Throat chakra. Is it this? Oh, it's this. Well, that never happens. Why is it? What is it hitting? There's something to hit. The heckin' Bob. I don't know why this is happening in your reading. There we go. I use the same setup. That could be meaningful. That tink, tink, tink. Flower agate. This is your throat chakra. Expression. Okay. So there's something here we need to express. Let out. I'm going to put that with expression. Card 3. Ooh, this is a pretty spread. This is giving pastel spirituality. I'm loving this for you. Okay. I'm an aesthetic girly at heart. Okay. Okay, for some reason I saw Rose when I turned this over. So your name could be Rose. I just read Rose. It doesn't say Rose anywhere on here. Card 13, more threes with calcite. Ooh, a beautiful butterfly of transformation here with the transformation card. The moon and transition. Okay, yeah. Oh, transition. Yeah, okay. Transformation, transition. So now you have expression, transformation, transition. Another word for transformation. Now you could be musicians or be musically inclined, because I feel like a lot of musical type energy is coming up here, like harmony, rhythm. I'm getting rhythm from you. I don't know if you play the drums or you play an instrument or something like this, but you have doubles here. So the wave that's coming in for you is transformation. It's change is coming in. It's new beginnings, because you have this new beginnings card here, but it's centered on this expression of yourself, tuning into the portal of your heart. So what is that all about? That's what I want to know. And you also have a sense of humor, because I have this little jibbity jabbity like energy here. No, we're not getting that. It's going to ruin our aesthetics. Okay, we're going to get these, they said. You could be, like I said, artistic. You could be an artist, because I couldn't even get the prism card, which I used for pile 1, because I felt that it would mess with your vibe, because this is so beautiful. We didn't want the harsh contrast here of the primary colors. I know it sounds like not relevant, but it is. Everything's relevant in a reading. A lot of flower energy here. Like there's petals here. Petals is in the title. There's roses here. This card is like lush greenery. There's roses here. There's lilies here. And flowers here with the butterfly. And then I saw the word rose on the moon card. Oh, the word rose is here too. Temple of the Rose. I mean, those are the rose deck. Power. Oh, ancient power. Wow, the way that your cards are lining up, like every word, there's only a few words in them, you see? Like it's like 2 sentences or like maybe 5 words, 1 phrase. And then each card that I pull, the next card that comes out links to it. So there's, sacred geometry. I would look into that if I were you. Same with how flowers have sacred geometry within them. There's some sort of like very symmetrical, geometric rhythm or pattern to this wave that's coming in for you. It's very purposeful, and it's like a web or a tapestry, but it's more symmetrical than that. It's not even symmetrical, it's just more connected. One thing is connecting to the other. Power. Yeah, this power of this expression you're going to be finding through your throat, specifically throat. So it's going to be saying something, speaking something, singing something, like getting on a platform. It could be creating something. Yeah, and when we began this reading, if you didn't watch the intro, Spirit really wanted to position it that this fresh wave that's coming in amongst a challenging situation. That was the key thing they wanted to point out, because they strongly felt that everyone who would come to this pile, or they knew that everyone who would come to this reading would be going through something. Everyone would have their thing that was on their mind, stressing them, and that you may overlook this blessing that comes in, this activation of something in your life, whether it's a talent, a skill, something that's been added to your life, a blessing, a resource, a helpful person, a helpful circumstance, some sort of activation like of a passion within you, that you might overlook it during this time because you're so focused on this other issue, like we talked about at the beginning, finances or something like this, health, relationship. I can't get over the prettiness of your reading. Like, this energy is pretty. I feel like I'm staring at the reading equivalent of a flower garden. and I'm loving it. Yeah, so what this wave is that's coming in for you, it sounds like it's some sort of Ace of Wands, fresh flame of maybe something you kind of know you have, like a skill or a talent that you've been maybe getting the intuitive nudges, because there's a little bit of moon energy here, to activate this power, because you have two words power and two words expression, that's going to come in from this expression. And this, you're going to have this like complete transformation, death and rebirth, shedding, all change. It says you may change where you live, you may change your financial circumstance, you may change your outward appearance, you may change your relationships, new solutions and beginnings. Whoa, the pillar. Wow, yeah, I thought, I'm like, I feel like I've seen pillars. Look at this, inner temple. And you basically have like a temple card. Tune it into the portal of your heart. The reason why the pillar comes up is it's a reminder of where to build your stability. You have to create these pillars of strength and stability within yourself, so that you can survive here on earth, and that you can be led and guided to the path and the outcomes and the circumstances and the synchronicities that are meant for you. So if you don't know what that means in a practical sense, this means developing an inner practice. This came up a little bit at the end of Pal 1 also, if you're from there or felt drawn to there. This is for some journaling, meditating, going to, for some of it's religion, going to church or temple, or is it mosque? Mosque? Is that, I'm so sorry if I'm saying that right. I'm not sure if that's the word they're giving me. Another like religious temple. That could be it for you. It could be your expression. It could be painting or singing or writing. And you channel that inner connection through that. You develop that inner connection through that channel. But whatever it is, if you have, it's sometimes hard for me to talk about this because it's been so long personally since I didn't have that connection. But I know that there was a time, the majority of my life, I didn't have that inner world. And you're kind of feeling outside the temple. You don't have that inner sanctuary to go to because, again, it's subtle. These are all subtle realm conversations. It's like, where's the inner temple? Can I go there? Which is why some people go to temple or go to church, because it's easier to, not easier in a bad way, but it's like a good way to connect with your spiritual devotion because you can physically go to a place. But if you don't believe in religion or you don't have anything you feel connected to, you can create that inner sanctuary in your own temple. You can just have somewhere you go in your room, but it really means within. So you could sit anywhere and draw your awareness inwards. So instead of looking at the TV or your phone, as simple as this, of reading a book, instead of doing something else, you could be doing something, because often I will have my devotional inner time when I'm like washing the dishes, cleaning, doing laundry, showering, vacuuming, walking, stretching, or driving. These are all things that your body can kind of take on automatically. Like you could be creating, like painting or something, that can also happen. And you can also have that inner devotional time then. So, but withdrawing your awareness from an outward focus, so either dimming your focus if it's a task that doesn't require your attention, or actively sitting and closing your eyes and going inwards and either automatic writing or journaling or just thinking of it. Sometimes if you want to bring something, the information grounded, you have to physically ground it, which means you have to physically write it. If you want to ground it, you don't have to. A lot of my stuff I just keep in the etheric filing cabinet because I would be writing constantly. But if you want to ground something, like you don't want to forget it or you want to take action on it or it feels important, write it down, which means you're bringing it from your mind's eye. It's the swirling ether from the imagination into the 3D. You write, taking a pen, a pencil, and you're writing it, or you're putting it in your notes app, or you're typing it. That is how you create this inner world of this pillar. Not just that way, but those were some examples they were giving me. Sorry, I was talking to them about something else. Okay, so speaking of that, definitely this is, like I said, some form of expression. So I would review in your alone time privately with your guides or God or through prayer, whatever you resonate with, what is calling to be released and transformed and expressed. What needs to be released and transformed? What do I need to express? And you're going to develop this empowerment from doing that and this stability of really getting to know your spirit self. But I'm going to pull cards now for your private inner world conversation that you can discuss with your own inner world amongst yourself, to talk about what is this fresh wave and find out more for you specifically what it is, because it's some form of self-expression, but only you're going to know what that is. Platform, starting a channel. I am getting card reading channels for some of you. You may have been being called to do that. Artists, in whatever aspect that is for you. But again, I just want to reiterate, because this message that's coming in is very soft. It's like the pastels of your pile one was very loud. This is very soft. And they feel like you're not getting what they're saying. They're saying this other situation's going on and you're missing this, because they're projecting this to you. They're projecting an idea to you that is going to be the solution to this other thing. But because this thing feels so soft and not important, you're not hearing it. I'll give you an example, and I've talked about this before. So I was laid off from my job, and prior years to that, my guides had been projecting to me to start this channel and my ASMR channel. And I procrastinated on that for a number of years. Now, your higher self and God, or whatever you want to call it, knows that I was going to lose my job on that day, that I was going to get let off in 2025. So they were telling me in 2023 to start doing this, to prepare, because if you have a YouTube channel, you know that it takes a couple of years, or it takes some time, it could take months, but the way I was doing it, like one video a month or something like that, in between working and being a mom, it was slower. So thank goodness I listened to them back then, even though it didn't make sense to me, because I'd never been interested in ASMR before then. I had some decks of cards, but I'd never done readings. I just kept my private channeling world to myself and my friends who knew about it and needed me, and some family members. And I didn't see the connection. I didn't see, when I was a mom, single mom, divorced, trying to pay my bills, make sure that I could afford this house for my daughter and food, I didn't see why starting an ASMR channel that wasn't bringing any income and starting a card reading channel that wasn't bringing any income at the time, I didn't see how those were related or how it was important. But now, fast forward 2 years, almost to the day, it was to the week that I was laid off, my ASMR channel got monetized the exact same week and brought in money right away. Like, it was like one thing's off, one thing's on. Now, if I hadn't started that 2 years before, and up until that point, it showed no signs of making money. Nothing. One video just took off. It has like 400,000 views, and then I got subscribers, and then I drew attention, and the algorithm picked me up, and then now whatever I post has been doing amazing for me, and I'm making a steady income from that channel. So now I wish I had done this. I had a previous channel that I did listen to them, and I shut it down because it was becoming too hectic for me to do 2 channels at the same time when I was working full time. Had I not closed that off, I would have been monetized in hindsight on both channels now and had more money. But I'm starting it now. You can always start at any point. The point of that story is it's something like that. It's something like that, where you're being called to paint, to cook, to film yourself doing something that you're good at, to sell something that you're good at creating. But because it feels soft to you and it doesn't appear as though money's coming from it now, you don't see the point as much of following that path. You're like, no, I gotta bring in money now, which you might need to do both at the same time. That's sometimes the catch-22 of it for a little bit. Like, I was working full-time while I was doing that. I wasn't able to leave and just start building a YouTube channel from scratch without making income. But you may need to lay down some groundwork for a matter of months or years before this thing becomes the main thing. Does that make sense? So it's something like that. For example, they just showed me applying for something. So say you kind of have, you keep getting this nudge, like apply for this grant, apply for the school, apply for this course, apply for this apprenticeship. And you're like, I don't see the point because it's not going to make me money. Like, and I need to this. Just follow that nudge, because they're showing in like months or years how that thing will be the main thing. And you'll be like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I randomly followed that intuitive nudge, because at the time I didn't see how it was connected to anything of importance, and it ended up becoming the main thing in my life. It's something to do with self-expression. It's something that you feel empowered by doing. And it's something that's calling you to transition, to transformation and death and rebirth, shedding. It's calling you to change. I don't know how soon that change is coming, if you're already experiencing it, or for me, it was like in 2 years, that change happened. And like, I'm so glad that I started it now, because I didn't know I was going to lose my job. I'd been in that field for 30 years. I had no idea that they would downsize and eliminate that position. And I was very happy, because I was very sick of being there. But thank goodness Spirit had already shown me the way, how I could make money in advance of that. Conception card 16 coming out. The frequency of, you can screenshot these if you want for your later like journaling time. Frequency of conception invites us to bring our consciousness to our origin, the place where everything in creation begins. It helps us to remember the infinite potential and possibilities of this space. Oh, and what we can manifest through our own focused awareness and intention. Yeah, this is about manifesting something in your life like I just spoke of, that maybe you don't see coming. Or maybe, I have to take this card for you. So I picked up this pile to shuffle it, and this one remained. And as soon as I read it, I knew it was for you. I am willing to see beyond my beliefs, ideas, and conclusions, activating the third eye. They also had a third eye activation in pile 1. Like I said, if you felt drawn to that, this is what I get for you. Are you willing to see beyond your current beliefs, ideas, and conclusions? Because beliefs are just a thought that you keep thinking. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily true. Nothing is inherently true. You're just getting, it's true because you believe it. So you're getting a reflection of your belief. But as you know, this world, we all have billions of different perspectives and beliefs based on what we believe. And so we all have billions of different experiences. But I feel that there's something within this self-expression, a hesitancy that you have because of a self-concept or idea about yourself, or like, I can't be a singer, who would want to look at me? I can't be an artist, who would want to buy this? I can't support myself. I can't be a whatever. There's some belief that you have to let your imagination run wild, and just, what's the word they're giving me? Recklessly believe in this, because here you can be reckless in your beliefs. I believe that because it's in the etheric. So if there's anywhere to be reckless with your visions, and I mean reckless in the sense that allow yourself to go there. Allow yourself to go there. Allow yourself to bust through your own limitations in your own mind. If not there, then where can you do that? Where can you be that free if you can't be that free in your own imagination? The way I'm getting emotional, it's like a wave of release as I'm saying these words. If you can't be, say it again for the people in the back through the tears. If you can't be that reckless in your own imagination to bust through your own self-limiting beliefs and concepts, then where can you have that hope? It has to start in your imagination, because you're certainly not going to allow yourself to do it in the 3D world. So let yourself do it in the etheric, imaginative, in your own private space, in your own inner world. Tune into the portal of your heart and say, what's the biggest dream? What's my biggest hope? What's my largest imagination that I can have for my life? That I can dream for this skill that I have, for where my heart is calling me? What's the largest expression that I can allow myself to conceive of, conception, in my own imagination? and let it sit there for a while. Let that percolate, because whatever you create there, it's going to start to reflect in your 3D world. You're going to start to have the courage. You're going to start to have the confidence. You're going to start to get the nudge. You're going to start to find the time, because it has to start in the etheric. It has to start in the imagination. That's where all manifestation starts. And then you will find the inspiration, and you'll get the downloads for where to take those steps. But if you haven't created it yet, it's hard to follow the path, because nothing's leading the energy. There is no path yet. I hope that's making sense, because that felt very powerful to me when I was saying it. Okay, final card here for pile 2. I love this. To reiterate, there's 3 components to this that this fresh wave is coming on that you don't want to miss. Component 1, there's going to be transition and change. Component 2, that transition and change is going to be a result of you discovering your empowerment through self-expression, whatever that is for you. And then number 3 wave is coming in that you don't want to miss, is developing this inner temple, that's devotion to your own self and becoming your own pillar of stability within your own spiritual practice, so that you are activating your third eye chakra. You are expanding your awareness and consciousness to allow the downloads from spirit, God, the universe to come in, so that you can ground them down, follow them through, and manifest in the 3D whatever this shift transition is from this self-expression that you're being called towards. So final card here, and the whole point is, this is bringing a new earth for you, an inner earth where you're going to have new beginnings, new solutions, and just a happiness and a complete transformation that you currently are struggling, I think, to believe could exist. And they just highlight for me ancient power. Yeah, the activation's huge here. Hopefully this reading activates. You could be getting activations from other points. Activation just means you hear, see, feel something, observe something that activates something within you, where you're like, whoa, I have a new thought about this. Whoa, what about that? That could be a possibility. It brings something in you to life that was otherwise dormant or you were unaware of. I see this being a time of activation, just like I couldn't see the word solutions, and then all of a sudden I did. My vision was activated to that word at that time. Wow, yours, guys, is like, this is like the weirdest description they're showing me. I don't even want to say this, but I feel like we could come up with something a little more demure, graceful, but they're showing me Humpty Dumpty. They're showing me and the thing is, Humpty Dumpty, I think we all thought that was like a bad story, but the way that they're showing it is Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. So they're showing me you falling, you think you're an egg, you falling off and splitting open, and then all of a sudden you realizing this delicious delicacy of your vulnerable, authentic soul that's within you, and you can make that egg anything. They're showing me scrambled, fried, boiled, your friggin', what's the thing with the sauce? The one with the, you know, that egg where they put the sauce on top and they boil it. It's like a delicacy. It's like hard to make. See, I don't know where we went with this whole egg thing. Like, that's what I'm saying. It didn't feel as graceful as the rest of the reading, but that's where they went with that. And it's like they're showing me like you think you're one thing and you're going to be cracked open and realize you're all these other things inside, and you're going to start to express and mold your inner world. Oh yes, inner. It's like inner temple. Okay, they are smart. That's like the egg. Humpty Dumpty's inner temple is the yolk and the white of the egg, right? Like it's the egg part is the inner temple of, so it's like you're going to be able to start to mold that and make it into and express yourself in whichever of these endless infinite ways that you decide you want to. Wow. I didn't see the whole egg thing coming in. I haven't thought of that. No Shiran in ages. Okay. Why do I feel like we just had this, but it wasn't? Joy. Okay, so we did have the word joy again in pile 1. It wasn't the same card. It wasn't the same deck. And I said your name could be Joy or your middle name or something. or you could have a child named Joy, because this says like a child. But anyways, joy could be relevant, or it could just be the word joy. Like a child, I discovered joy in the simplicity of life. Happiness lies in magical moments, not in the material. Even the smallest joy is a great source of light. Beautiful. Okay, there was a lot that came through for you guys. I absolutely adored your reading. Please comment down below. I absolutely love hearing from you. It's such a blessing for me to know it resonated. If you don't know what to say, just put any emoji to let me know that you resonated. And it helps me to tune into your energy more too, if you're going to be coming back. If not, no worries. Thank you so much for being here and making it to the end of the reading. If you're going to another pile, I will absolutely see you there. There could be more information for sure. And if not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Be well. Hello, pile 3. Thank you for being here. The funniest thing happened. One of my lights fell and it hit the Tibetan singing bowl here, and it made the most beautiful energy cleansing frequency. It was just like spirits like, hold on a second, boing. It was so nice. So you have, I think this is called a Hamza. I know you can put it up for protection or down for abundance, so depending on what you need here. And you have forge, don't follow, pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had. And I'm just being told to check my camera. Okay, all looks well. So let's proceed with, what is this fresh new wave that you do not want to miss coming into your life? This could be an actual material thing or an energetic shift. So let's find out what it is for you. Starting with this deck here. Oops. Oh, that's random. A deck I haven't used was under this deck, and this one came out for you. The person you're asking about is trustworthy, from Archangel Michael. Thank you for helping me have faith. I can open my heart wider in my relationships. I'm grateful for your protection, ensuring that only trustworthy people are in my life. So I feel like we're going to keep that because it came into your reading on its own. So now we'll continue with the other decks. So you could be asking about someone. That could be for like one person or 2 people. Be the leader you wish you had. Forge a new path. That could have nothing to do with the reading. We'll see. I do feel a lot of tension in my back all of a sudden. I'm not sure if you're going through a lot of tension. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this card came out. I tried to pull the deck earlier, like pick up the deck earlier, and a card fell out and I just wasn't ready, so I put it back in. But it was this one, because I know they always come back out if they're meant to. So don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? And then you're being called to be the leader you wish you had, which is, again, the leader is in the spotlight. The leader is the one who stands out. So really interesting. I'm going to get a second card. No, we're not. Spirit, like, no, we're not getting it from this deck. I was going to get it from that deck, but we're not. So we're getting it from this. You could have messages in pile... Is this the last deck? Pile 2. You could be a card reader. I'm hearing. I have a YouTube channel. The sacred union, beloved within, inner and outer relationships. Yeah, and you have this person you're asking about is trustworthy. No relationship stuff has come up yet, so I'm not surprised a little bit's coming up here, because it's typical that someone would be asking about relationships. Beloved within, inner and outer relationships, the sacred union. I don't know why this little thing looks like a ring to me. I don't know if it's supposed to look like that. It kind of gives like wedding vibes. We had that come up, I think, in pile 4 in the channeled information. That's like one of the only channeled things that I can remember, is that. I think it was pile 4. Anyway, what else for you? We're not getting a whole heck of a lot here so far, because we just started pulling. Okay, so what fresh wave is pile 3? wanting to make sure they're not going to miss. Okay, before I can even finish the sentence, for some of you, again, this is not what piles 1 and 2 have been about, so I didn't expect this, but this is what's coming up in your pile. For some of you, it's a relationship that's going to lead to marriage. So that's being, you don't want to miss that wave. Or if you're in a relationship, then it's potential that that's where your relationship is going, if that's what you want. Or a commitment. It doesn't have to be a physical marriage, but some sort of divine counterpart with a long-standing commitment. Yeah, you do have this person you're asking about is trustworthy randomly came out. Play, okay. Why am I so aggressive with the card there? So the dolphin's coming out here with the play card, like lighten up, bring some play back into your relationship, if this is about a relationship, into your world. If you're single, maybe that's where you meet someone, going out, being social, joining a club, a group, a sports group. Yeah, for some of you, they were like play. Like there's something that, there's a sport you play, but you haven't been playing. So they're like, play that sport. Or play that game. And it's like leading to something. The other two piles, like I said, were very etheric. They were like energy shifts. Yours feels tangible. I think it might be a person or like a relationship commitment coming in. The Weaver. Okay. Doesn't seem irrelevant yet. What else we got here? I mean, you could be a weaver. Like, do you knit or crochet? At the most literal level of that. Whoa. This came out in pile 1. So card 2, Lapis Lazuli, the third eye chakra with consciousness. You do have a lot of indigo energy coming up here. So you're, oh yeah, and you have this, see the eye here, the third eye, and this figure has the third eye, and she's covering her real sight, her human sight, to focus on her inner sight. Okay, one message that is coming through is, do some of you have like a type and you never go off that type? Say you're single, or you could be with someone and thinking, oh, they're not really my type, and you're questioning yourself, because I see them covering, like they're showing me covering your eyes and letting your heart choose, letting your inner knowing choose, and not always just going for the visuals, because if it's not led you yet to where you want to go, I'm not saying you have to sacrifice attraction. It's just attraction can come in like many forms, right? Like someone can be very physically attractive and not energetically attractive at all. And then the opposite can be true, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? So what's attractive to one person might not be attractive to another person, and et cetera, et cetera. So, but I see that image they're showing me. Apophyllite, oh, it's upside down, my bad. Apophyllite, card 26. Jupiter and curiosity. Yeah, okay, we were just talking about that. And there's a little shell here on the top, if that's meaningful to you. And there's another third eye on here. 3 third eyes you have in your reading. Oh my gosh, 4. There's one here too. There's one here, third one here, fourth one here. You have 4 inner eye images. Oh, and it's on your stone, on the Hamza. Can you see that? I hope this is called a Hamza, because I keep saying that. And what if it's not? Then that's going to be embarrassing for me. But anyway, I'm not easily embarrassed. So, because like, I'm a spaz. Like, what am I going to do? Deny it? No, just own it. Okay, this is about tuning into your inner knowing. Okay, because 4 third eye chakras, 5 inner seer symbologies coming up is intense. You gotta see something here that is not apparent. You've got to see this with your inner vision. Become curious. Is there something else I'm not seeing here? Open my heart wider so that I can have faith. Interesting dynamic here, my friend. My friend. Okay, what card should we get next? I'm missing one. They're telling me. What is it? Am I? Okay. I'm moving to these. So okay. So what? Sorry, they're giving me so many things. Okay, so the wave, let's just recap so we know where we're going here. Okay. Let me just get this pile because it's so loud I can't think of anything else. Okay, hold on, let me get this deck. I didn't get this for anybody else. What wave, a fresh wave is coming in that you don't want to miss? This is hopping, these two are hopping off. This say loved, yeah, beloved. The synchronicities, I mean, this card is beloved. Okay, so card 21 here, it says beloved within, inner and outer relationships, and this is Venus with beloved, and Venus is the planet, I believe, of love and femininity and beauty. And Pisces with sensitize. Card 12. So Pisces could be meaningful to you, or this energy of becoming more tuned into your emotions. Again, they just keep showing me this image here. She's covering her eyes. You need to look with your inner sight. And there is the message on that card of how are you dimming your light in order to fit in. But I feel like that is a message, but I feel like you know that message. And you know that maybe you do that sometimes. You make yourself smaller in order to not trigger other people or stand out too much. But I really think the wave that's coming in that you're not seeing is some sort of possible romantic opportunity or self-love opportunity. It's an opportunity for love to come in and some sort of commitment and trust to build. But that it's going to you're not seeing the wave. Like, you may not see the wave, like I talked about in pile 1. Surfers have to sit on the wave and feel the swell come up, and you feel the energy before you see the wave. So I feel like you really, really want to be tuning into your third eye chakra, because you have 5 symbols of the third eye, which is your inner sight. Okay, let's get some more of these. Of course, on the top of the deck, you have activating the third eye. Number 6. So you may want to Google like third eye chakra activations. Like, if you don't feel like your inner sight is highly attuned, I feel like I only really see with my inner sight these days. So I'm trying to think of words that would help you or ways to activate that, but I can't even think of how I did that because it was so long ago. But if nothing comes up channels, they're saying Google it and look at third eye chakra activations, ways to develop your inner sight. Basically, you're trusting your inner knowing and your inner seeing. So if someone approaches you and you feel drawn to them, then you trust that, even if you're like, they're not usually my type, or I don't know what the purpose of this relationship would be, and like, or friendship would be. And then the opposite be true. Sometimes we're drawn to someone, and like, I'll give you an example. Once, like not a long time ago, but maybe like a couple years ago, I went on a date, and this was just a regular person that didn't look like a bad person or anything to give me any indication that I would be feeling this way. But on my way to the date in the car, I got so weak feeling and scattered. I couldn't even okay, so I've never told this story. I'm just remembering it now. I lived in this town. I was only driving 5 minutes into town to a place that I go constantly, a parking lot that I go constantly that has a bunch of restaurants and stuff to meet this date. I couldn't find the parking lot, you guys. I was circling, I kept making a wrong turn. Like, I was so scattered and I'm never like that. Like, I go on dates. It's not now, not recently, but well, okay, recently I've gone on like 2 dates, but usually I don't date. But before that, in the time that I went on lots of dates. It's not like at that time I was dating. So it's not like I was flustered from this, date. I had probably just gone on a date the week before, like with someone else. It wasn't that at all. It was something about the energy of this person. My inner knowing was like, no. It was almost trying to like baffle me, like discouraged me. I had no clear vision. I couldn't see where I was going. I kept circling in the subdivision because I kept missing the turn to the parking lot that I've driven like a couple times a day sometimes to go to these shops, and it was absolutely bizarre. Anyway, I forced my way through it because I felt bad, and I felt so ill. I felt so weak. I just didn't, and it didn't go well. It didn't go anywhere. It just was a mess. I shouldn't have bothered, and I had to recover from that for a couple of days. And that's what they're giving me as an example for how you will feel and sense things, and you're tuning to that. So these cards that I'm going to pull now, Spirit wants to encourage you to use in your own private time, that you have your own private devotional time, whether that's prayer, journaling, meditating, whatever spiritual practice, you tune into the divine and your higher self, and using these cards as kind of discussion points to continue the conversation for your own personal situation. So let's see what they want to say to you to discuss more with you one-on-one about this fresh new wave coming in. Because it's like they're lightly touching on like relationships and stuff, but they're not really going too deeply into it. But you really have this sensitization to your inner sight. So for some reason, that's going to be important for what's coming next. Because I've never seen so many cards. And also this lightening up energy, this play. Yeah, see, releasing expectations. So for some reason, they're veiling the situation. Like I really can't get in the door of what your situation is. It could be a lot of people listening, so I have to stay general, or it could be that you're private and you don't want it discussed, which is completely understandable. But you know what your situation is, whether this is about divorce, engagement, being single, not single, in a relationship. Should I commit? Should I not? Do I trust this person? There's a lot of situations here, but whatever your situation is, you're really being called to release your expectations about it. Be a little bit more playful and curious. Develop that curious, playful energy and see what is here. See what can be discovered and see what your inner knowing reveals about this situation. That's one point. So I would use that as, I forgot to read the back. Only the highest possibilities come to me whether I envision them or not. So exactly like what we were saying, you might not exactly know what you're drawing in. It might be different from your expectation. So whether you can see it or not, the highest possibilities are coming to you, and you're attracting to your frequency, assuming you're in positive frequency majority of the time, which I'm assuming if you're here, you probably are. Yeah, you gotta loosen up because my back keeps tightening up. I feel like I'm so rigid. You may be really rigid in your approach to something they're saying. And the wave that you don't see coming in is that this problem or the situation resolves itself purely by this fresh energetic awareness that you develop and this inner knowing. And it kind of shifts the frequency around you because your perspective changes on something. And it allows the situation to present itself to you or to open up. I'm really curious about this beloved word. Beloved. Yeah, beloved is such a weird word because it's like one of those vague words. I was like, what does that mean? Like, oh, you're so beloved to me. Like you're adored, you're held, in care. But they're reading it to me as beloved. So I feel like this is about being open to love. But what does the pave a new path, be the leader you wish you had have to do with it? It could be open to a love that's there. You might, for some reason, be like blocking it or being like, oh, this isn't my typical, type, or there's something about it that you're not open to, or you're, Okay, let's get more. Yeah, they just keep saying, be playful, be curious, and develop this deep love for yourself, and possibly be open to external love. It does have a lot to do with self-love, because again, with this don't dim to fit in, I feel like the way you're even presenting yourself is not really you in some aspect. You don't feel like completely comfortable in the way that you're presenting in the world or in the relationship or in relation to love or others or dating or in your marriage, something. Okay, so one image they're giving me here is instead of, this is going to be interesting to explain. Let me see if I can do this. So if you picture like just let's say the dating world, regardless of if you're single or not, but let's just say dating people in relationship, single, whatever you are, you're in romantic relationship. There's one school of thought or one group of energy where people take the position of following or matching energy. Yeah, okay, I'm getting this clearly now. In which case it's like, oh, if they didn't text, then I won't text. If they say good morning, then I'll say good morning. If they're really outgoing, then I'll show my outgoing side. There's that tendency to kind of withhold a lot or chameleon ourselves into what the other person's doing. Or if your partner's in, a cranky mood, then you get quiet and kind of cranky back, for example. And they're showing me this energy of, see this figure here in the white dress? She's like free and kind of forging forward, and this don't dim your light to fit in. They're giving me this image of like, or you could do that, or you could just unapologetically embrace, embody, and own the absolute uniqueness and power that is you as this unique being, and behave in exactly with confidence and empowerment the way that you feel called to within your own inner self, through your own love of self. I love myself. I'm incredible. I know I have gifts. Everyone's incredible. It's not an arrogance, of course. It's a knowing of your own brilliance, of your own inner beauty, of your own external beauty, knowing that you shine and you're just going to be you. And what is drawn to you then is welcome on your path if you're open to it. And does that do you see the difference? So they're showing me like you leading the relationship, not in like a manipulative way or controlling. It's just that you are leading with your light energy and you're being authentically yourself. And if the other person can be their authentic self, then beautiful and wonderful. But you're not holding yourself back or dimming your light in order to kind of like measure the situation or someone's mood. I hope that came through. So they are showing me that as information for a shift that could be coming in on this wave that you really don't want to miss, because it's our tendency to behave in old patterns and same patterns that we're currently in. But this opportunity is coming in to kind of call you out of that, and they don't want you to miss this fresh expression of yourself, of shining your light and developing this inner world with yourself and embracing this more playful, flexible, curious energy in your world right now, whether it's about relationship, career, or just an approach to life. It just does have a relationshipy vibe with like the love cards, the inner and outer relationships, and the beloved, and this person is trustworthy. For some of you, you're just straight out asking about a person. So you got your message there. It's not great in. Definitely, I would be open and see with your inner knowing if this person is trustworthy or not. More messages. Whoa! The way that came out. Oh, universal love, card 44. So you got another love card. The frequency of universal love activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of the existence. You could have messages potentially in pile 1, because there was a lot about activating love in that within ourselves and softening to love. Yeah, I don't know if you've just been closed off to love. I mean, there could be messages in pile 2. Anyway, do whatever you felt drawn to, because I feel like you have more messages, but there's like, it could be 1 or 2. I mean, it could be 4. I haven't filmed it yet. Final message for pile 3. Your guys' reading was a little bit esoteric and like veiled, like I said, but I feel like the message came through. Final message for pile 3, please. Ooh. Oh, this one remained. Ooh. I didn't know there was a pink card in here. Release. I stop fighting my fears and hardships of my life, and I control my thoughts, live in the present moment, and accept each stage of life. I work on what I have power over and put into God's hands what I can't change. I trust that everything will work out for the best. Oh, I love that. Pile 2 had a lot to do with release, I'm just saying. Really interesting reading, guys. This is really about activating that inner sight and using it to sensitize yourself to what's for you and what's not, and kind of how to navigate interpersonal relationships and the world at large, but also about developing this new aspect of yourself where you're not dimming your light and you're really generating and curating this curious, playful energy into your life where you are just budding through with love and knowing and stable within your own self, and you no longer feel that your place is to kind of follow the leader. You become the leader. You forge a new path, and you're like, if whoever matches me is going to follow my energy, whoever's not is going to fall by the wayside, and I'm going to be authentically myself and let all the goodies attract to me like a moth to a flame. I don't know if that was the best analogy, but like light attracts things. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. If it resonated, I feel blessed when I hear from you guys. I would love to, even if you just put an emoji to know if it resonated. If not, no worries, or a like or a subscribe, even better. They're all better, they're all good, they're all amazing. Even just you being here watching to this point is a blessing for me to be able to read for you. So thank you so much. If you're going to another pile, if you feel drawn to it, then I will see you there shortly. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Be well. Hello, pile 4. Thank you for being here. Oops, my light fell over. You have the rose quartz and the weight of the world card with boundaries. Let it go. It's not yours to carry. So let's find out what fresh wave is coming in that you don't want to miss. So I'm not sure if you're resonating with that card, just that feeling of heaviness that's in the collective, just with being here on Earth and everything that's going on, or if there's a certain situation that you're like, I cannot keep being in the middle of this. I cannot keep involving myself in this. I'm exhausted. It could be a family situation, something with friends or with your partner or with work. Soul family. Ooh, oh my gosh, that's scary. Call in your tribe. Call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. Okay. So some support possibly being around you that... sorry, I'm getting distracted because there's these dolphins here, and in pile 3 we just had the dolphin card with play. So it's possible there's messages in pile 3 for you. Yeah, I wonder, I feel like you're going through something, or someone around you is going through something that's just the way that they're leaning on each other for support here. It could have been a recent death in the family, an illness, job loss, something like this, like disability. That's very, like caring for an elderly parent, that can be very draining. Held. Wow, you have another support card. Sureness of the soil, unseen help, support, community. And this is like an ancestor looking down, holding this figure here. Interesting. So I wonder what you're going through. Even this figure's being held in the water here, kind of like to bring some lightness. If you can get in the water safely, if you're near a body of water, that can be very healing. Like a float tank or the ocean, the salt water. Do that safely, obviously, only. Or baths. Whispers of Mother Earth, creativity, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. So you could have a creative side that you're either aware of and expressing, or not aware of, or aware of and not having the time to express. But let's see here. I kind of want to do this. Wait, do I? No, I don't. Yeah, I do. Thought so. going to put the two support cards together. So you have two cards saying support, and then the actual card says let go, it's not yours to carry. And then two support cards saying like let others help you carry this, including Mother Earth. Okay, let's get more information here. So what wave though is coming in? Is it a release of this burden in some way, even if it's something that you can't physically release from your manifestation because of a sense of obligation or duty or just compassion? Then I wonder if it's something you can just release the weight of. Really interesting. You have two artist cards. Wow, this is a completely different deck. So now you have artist, manifestation, creative accountability, and here you have creativity, ideas, inspiration, artist, writer, channel. Your life is a canvas. So there's something here about allowing others to support you during this time and letting go what's not yours to carry. And then, yeah, I'm going to switch this because I feel like this is more past energy and this is where we're going. And then on this coming in here, this wave is this artist creativity. I think it's pile 3 that had that with the expression coming out a lot. So you could have messages there, but let's keep getting your cards. It's really not unlikely, but unusual to get, well, also unlikely, 2 artist cards. There's not that many artist cards in any of these decks. I think I've never seen either of these. And they both came out. So you may be like, oh, I'm not an artist, but an artist, I would say, my definition would be someone who takes something that they're given and makes something and expresses what's in their inner world through it. Because I was about to say something makes something beautiful or pleasing, but that's not the case because artist's subjective. It depends on the observer. But it's for the artist, it's about expressing something within them. So what needs to be expressed within you? But what's this wave coming in? Some piles, it was an energetic energy coming in a wave that they don't want to miss, a subtle energy that we sometimes miss. And some piles, it was a tangible thing coming in. So let's see what yours is here. More information for what fresh wave is coming in, because I feel like you need some freshness here. Pile, I think 3 had this. Yeah, pile 3 had this and the play card. So there is synchronicity here because you both have the dolphins play card and then you both have this exact same card, curiosity. Apophyllite and Jupiter, card 26. Let me get one more of these. So exploring, yeah, they want me to put that with creativity. The exploration of something. Your life is a canvas. Is there something going on in your life that you've been feeling called to, or that you're going to be called to express and turn into art? Whether it's pain or anger or sadness. And there's some art form that you want to, art can be, a podcast. It can be expressing yourself through speech. It could be singing, writing, painting, creating something, sculpting, gardening. Like I said, it doesn't even have to be a tangible thing. It can just be living your life, whatever it is you're doing, and create with the situation, making, lemonade with the lemons you've been given, making the situation a form of self-expression. I'm not sure how that would play out, but I feel like you know how to do it. Introspection with fluorite. Oh, we have fluorite here. Card 15 as Turian. I don't know what these space names are. If that's a comet or something. No idea. Introspection. Not sure. Introspection's great. I'm just not sure what specifically has to do with this reading. So let's get more. More for pile 4, please. What fresh wave is coming in? Because you were also in the water here, which has to do with this wave, water energy. And there's more water here. could be a water sign, or just really resonate with, like, you always want to live or be near the ocean. Manifest coming out, which creativity is another word for manifest. Create, bring forth something from this, but what? What is, the void, okay. But what is unknown? So I guess it depends on you, because the void is unknown. This is a potential portal point of manifestational energy swirling, and it depends what you focus on and you choose that's going to come out and manifest. It's not clear, because I guess there's a lot of situations of what it could be, but it's taking something that you're feeling or experiencing and channeling it into as a creative pursuit to express yourself and release this weight. And then there's a huge part about this wave of this support coming in. Okay, I see. Usually when I get the community card or tribe or support, I take it usually as to mean current, like your current friend group, your current families, your current community. But this is saying, as you put on this artist hat and you begin to channel your creative expression through you, you will develop this community, this support. So whatever this is that you feel inside you needs to be expressed. And it doesn't have to be money making. It could be, but it could be a passion project, something that you need to get out, and you do a completely different, you have a different avenue for material wealth to flow into you. Maybe you're already wealthy and this is, you don't need stable income. This has something to do with, for the sake of releasing this weight, letting it go and expressing it through a creative channel in order to manifest and bring something into your world, manifest something from this void. And it may require introspection to like go back a little bit, and so you don't want to go too far back into past energies. You really want to create from the now, but there may be some introspection into what is that and what does that path look like and what do I feel called to bring forward. And then it's going to draw in this community. So this could be like you're being called to start a YouTube channel or create on a platform or start an Etsy or start a, do a TED Talk or start a podcast, or like I said, be an artist, create, paint, sing, dance. And you'll draw in this community of people, which is going to contain your soul family, and you're going to feel that support of other people who have gone through similar things or other people who understand what it is that you're expressing and the authenticity of it. And you're going to feel really held in that community, and you won't feel as alone as maybe you've been feeling and as heavy with these burdens. Also, they're drawing my attention to the boundaries word, which is that if there is a situation in your life where you're feeling that you do want to help or you do have to be involved for some reason, having those strong energetic and material boundaries up to say, okay, well, I can spend this much time, but then I have to go, or I can spend this much money, but it has to stop at that, or whatever it is for you. You're being encouraged, if you don't already have boundaries up, to establish those boundaries. Okay, let's get more information here with these cards. Now, these cards I like to say use in your private time with your own inner dialogue to talk on a personal level about your personal situation with your belief system, your guides, God, through prayer, whatever you believe in. Meditate on it, journal. So let's see what talking points come out here for this. It's a pretty clear message. It's very like, there's this, and then there's this. And you're going to feel this release because it's weighing you down, this, whatever this is, something that happened in the past or something that's happening now. It could be like a past trauma from childhood. It could be a current situation. It could have been like an abusive relationship or something. Like I said, it could be a death in the family, a difficult, challenging situation you're going through with someone. And others need to hear what you have to say. That's what Spirit's telling me. There's others who are going through this who need your expression so that they can find you and feel not alone, and learn together about how to navigate this type of challenge, because I'm getting it's a very unique challenge like that I wouldn't even like I don't understand, because I've never maybe been through that specific one. Something that really calls for a community of like-minded people who have been through that. Like they're telling me that I'm sorry, it's the family and friends of alcoholics, or I'm not sure if it's just addicts. Al-Anon. I can't quite get the word, but I guess there's a support group for people who are in face-to-face, up close with alcoholics or addicts. I'm not sure which one it is, and what stress and strains that can put on the relationship. And it's a support for them, and only that group of people really understands what it's like to really love somebody and have to see them go through this pain, and how to have those boundaries. It's something like that, even though it doesn't have to be that specific thing at all, but it might be. For example, they're showing me perhaps you have a loved one or something who has a serious handicap, and how you want to be there for them and how to navigate that. Maybe you knew them before they developed the handicap and how to deal with it after. Like, if someone's in a car accident and they lose their ability to see or something like this, or walk, and God forbid, but these things happen. Souls choose certain paths, and whatever you believe in, these things do occur. And even though lots of goodness can come from it, it's still a huge challenge. And it's something like that, where you're being called to develop boundaries, let go of what's not yours to carry, but start to channel this through your artist energy, in whatever way that is, in order to call in your tribe. That's what waves coming up, and manifesting something from the void. You have this manifestation. Oh, I didn't even notice manifestations in here too. So you have manifest, and then the word here with your life is a canvas is manifestation. And I feel like I want to say a lot of good's going to come from this, but it's bigger than that. It's like powerful things are going to come, and this kind of healing for the collective of whatever this theme is going to come from this. Like they're showing me parents who lose a child young. I experienced that, not personally, but very close to me. My best, really close friend passed very young, and it stays with me, and he's one of my guides now. But I can't imagine what his parents went through, and I feel like that's something that no one will understand unless they've been through it. And so, speaking up and like it's something like that. Card 40, soul time. The frequency of soul times asks us to allow the possibility of a new reality to emerge, one that embraces the concept that while the corporal body is mortal, the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. So they're giving me a bit more on that, saying, for example, it could be that you had someone pass and you developed your mediumship abilities and you speak to this person, and that's something that embraces the concept that, yes, the body is mortal, but the soul is timeless, limitless, and infinite. Maybe you're being called to bring that kind of healing energy and new reality, the possibility of that new reality to emerge, where you can bridge those two worlds. There's a lot of authors who have done that, and it provides an immense sense of relief for people who have gone through that, thinking that this person is gone forever. But it just depends on what your situation is. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong deck. It's really touchy subjects. I don't want to trigger anybody. That's why I'm trying to jump off the topic really quick, but I also don't want to minimize it, because these are heavy things to go through that are super soul journey type intentional things that only you can understand what it's like, and people who have gone through a similar thing. So I don't want to diminish it by being oh, it could be this, as if saying the phrase makes it okay, It's just so much more than that. But you're strong. Spirit's saying there's a group of you who have a strength that, and many others will never need to call on, that you have had to call on. And that makes you a very unique soul here, and that makes you one of a select few who have the knowing and the alchemical experience of transforming grief into peace to bring change into the collective. There's not a lot of people who have that sort of depth, and you guys have that energetic depth and stamina. Ooh, an of, y'all. Another message for pile 4, please. It's falling. Befriending pain, yeah. When discomfort becomes a friend, my most limiting beliefs are healed. So I feel like you've had to really experience that, like we just talked about. It could be a situation you're going through personally that's bringing you a lot of discomfort and pain, feeling this weight of this, whatever it is on you, and channeling that and expressing it somehow and calling in your tribe. I feel like there's this wave of just new possibilities coming in for whatever this is. And then you have, I'm just going to move this and put this here now, faith. Oh, I love that. To end your reading, I'm confident I will achieve my goals. I live in the present and have faith in the future. I firmly believe in my value within the universe. I love that line came up, because that's really what it is. You have some inherent, well, we all have inherent value, but you have some unique value that this situation is creating or has created, and you're discovering that. That's what this wave is. This wave is coming in that you don't want to miss, to say, okay, you had to process these emotions. You had to go through this, not had to, but you went through this experience. You had to process the emotions, deal with the pain. And now the wave that's coming is, what was your soul intending to bring through to this, to manifest from the void when you chose to come here and experience this situation? I'm trying to choose my words carefully, so please don't be offended because some people believe we didn't choose it. So I don't want to offend anyone. If you're like, I would never choose that, I completely respect whatever beliefs you hold. I'm trying to find the right words to appease everybody. But the situation that occurred, I feel the wave that's coming in now is you finding the you in it. You're finding your purpose in it. You're finding your voice in it, and you're finding whatever it is, starting a charity, a platform, like I said, becoming a mentor, a public speaker, starting some sort of business from it, some sort of coaching or counseling or therapy from it. It could be a magnitude of things they're showing me. That this wave coming in is for you to not only continue to heal and grow from what's occurred, but to find your place in it and your voice and your unique soul expression, and to draw to you these magnificent other souls who are on this same journey with you, who have experienced the similar thing, who are going to just wrap their arms around you. And it's going to be this beautiful, authentic community of like-minded individuals who are not only going to support whatever your craft is, but who are going to support you emotionally and you them. And it's beautiful. This is a beautiful, very, like I said, deep reading. And I'm honored to have read for you. Thank you so much for being here. If you did resonate with the message and you want to leave a comment or something or share your story, that's a blessing for me. Otherwise, I just love reading for you. It's a blessing. If you are going to another pile, then I'll see you there. If not, I will see you in another reading on another day. Be well. Much love.